Hey guys, Chris coming at you with Fort Park here, talking some Strata talk today. And one thing that I wanted to mention, I see this all the time. We're in hundreds and hundreds of Strata meetings every year. Council meetings, planning meetings, budget meetings. And one thing that I've noticed is that Strata Councils will pick apart a budget, or the owners will pick apart a budget. They'll focus in on the little things. They'll focus in on banking costs is one they always ask about. Why is this? I get my own personal banking done for $5 a month cheaper than this, or whatever, right? It might equal to $50 a year. Little nitpicky things. They're always concerned about owners owing money, those kind of things. But they don't focus on always, some do, but not always focus on the big issues. And one of the big issues is strata insurance. Seems to just get glossed over. It's probably, for a lot of stratas, it can be a 25% or a third of their budget for the year, but they just kind of gloss over it. So we always say it's really important to get 3 quotes on your insurance. Even if you love your insurance company, it's still good to keep them honest. You might, get a lowball quote, and then you can go back to your incumbent and have them try and match. So that's super important. It can save you tens of thousands of dollars quite easily. So why don't they do it? Why don't Strata Councils do it? Why don't, Strata management companies do it all the time? Well, there's a few reasons. Number one, timing and planning. It's really important to get the timing of doing this right. You can't do it too early because the brokers, the insurance brokers aren't ready to quote yet. And if you do it too soon, too close to your renewal time, then you just don't have enough time to do it. So 90 days out is probably the ideal time. 60 to 90 days, 30 days is just cutting it too tight. You got to plan for it. If you don't plan, you're not gonna be successful in negotiating better insurance. Another thing is simply it's a lot of work. It's a ton of work to do that. It's going to be a lot of work if you're self-managed, for the council, for the management company to do that. So that's another reason why people just don't like to do it. Another thing is sometimes you just feel like it's not worth the doing. Let's face it, insurance is an oligopoly. There's only so many companies doing it. They're all sharing the same insurers. All the brokers are sharing the same insurers generally. So, you might feel like it's not even worth it, but at the end of the day, it probably still is worth it, even though insurance is definitely an oligopoly. The other thing is awkwardness. It's a little bit awkward to go to, say you've been with an insurance company for 20 years and you're really happy with them. You have to go to them and ask for your 5-year claims history. They know you're shopping them around, and not everyone feels comfortable doing that. But trust me, it's a good idea. You should be doing that. It's going to probably save you money in the long run. If you need help with your strata insurance, reach out to us. We do a lot of this. We work with a lot of the different brokers. It is super, super important, though. Don't worry about the nitpicky little things in the budget. Worry about the big things, insurance being a major, major thing. Thanks for listening.